After being released by Vale, making a deal with the god of plots and taking along his lieutenant, Corio, as a guide, the party trekked for 2 weeks with relative ease, coming upon the coast of the Fellish Sea and skirting the northern border of Tayla. It's there that they rested and prepared for the arduous journey ahead, where battles raged and armies clashed up the steps of the great mountain that held their goal. It's hard to tell, but it's morning, if from nothing else than by the birds chirping, still attuned to their regular cycles, even though the sun has stayed in its place for the last 2 weeks. Whoever arises first sees that Corio has already been up for who knows how long, stretching, doing drills, and coming toward the more normal wake-up time for everyone else, gathering firewood and starting a little morning fire where she's laid out some small game to cook.
Well, do we have some order of business for the day?
Stretching out on his bedroll, sitting up, taking in the same sight that he's taken in every morning for the last 2 weeks. Relander notices Corio doing that and hears Val's question. Not particularly. Continue onward. And he's going to start packing up his things, rolling out the bedroll, getting camp all settled out.
You said the area that we are entering into is dangerous. What should we expect?
Time will tell. All I know is that perhaps we are not the only ones who are looking for this ultimate bounty that one is to find at the top of the crown of Aegedon. If nothing else, whether or not they are in possession of the item, and she just kind of half cocks her head toward Val and the heart of the void, they seek to secure it from us, from you.
Do you know of people specifically who would wish this?
I think it would be everyone that is not us, yes.
I think we should at least count on one run-in with Morden before we reach our destination. I can't imagine he's just sitting idly by while all this goes on.
Who is this Morden fellow?
X perhaps still is a Magister of the 12th Rose, but more importantly, the Godborn of Air.
Corio just frowns and gives a little shrug.
Sort of a sworn enemy of ours.
Yes, he seems to always pop up when it's least convenient for us.
He's a right bastard, he is, and he's dangerous. And now that we know who he really is, more so than ever. Though last time we saw him, we did succeed in trapping him, well, somewhere not here. Who knows if he ever got out?
It sounds like, at least according to Vale, he did. Unless he'd already made his bonds with Air prior to that. But regardless, I don't think that watching out for someone particular, going after the Heart of the Void, coming after us, it doesn't make any difference on our journey. We just keep on going towards our destination, handle things as they come. I don't know what the terrain is like leading up to the base of the mountain, but if possible that we could conceal ourselves in forest that is to the side of the road, perhaps it would be best to not travel by the roads.
Actually, perhaps it would be better to travel by the roads. I have heard tell of vast camps of refugees from the northern and eastern Fel amassing at the base of the mountain here on the border of the Fellish Kingdom and Tayla. Ever since Bastion fell, that is where they have, coalesced. Perhaps it would be easier, in fact, to sneak through right under their noses. Easier said than done for a few of you, but I'm sure a little intent here or there would not kill your gods outright. No?
I don't know that we can be sure of that, but to some degree.
I think that's right, though. I think our best opportunity lies with at least being back in a place where it's easy to get lost in a crowd, as it were. Those who are seeking for us, at least, will have greater difficulty finding us if we are one of hundreds or thousands instead of the only people on the road.
I will say this, it is the more direct route, but it puts us closer to danger. I am not reticent in any way, shape, or form to take you, the long way around. But it will take more time, and I am not sure if time is something that you all have to spare.
I think it would be better to face the danger.
I agree, although perhaps best to approach cautiously. I'd like to be able to get some information on perhaps more what it is that Morden really is after. Knowing how well intentions can align with patron gods, I wouldn't put it past Morden to think he can slip one over Air.
You are probably right.
You lot have had a fair number of interactions with this Magister, then, have you not?
We have.
Then I will do my best, if we are to proceed in whichever way you see fit, to try to keep his prying eyes off of us.
Thank you.
You mentioned Luna, is it? Yes. Where exactly did you send this Magister Morden before? Luna just kind of looks at Val.
It was me that done did it. I sent him to a place known as the Amber. Are you familiar with that name?
Perhaps, but perhaps I know it in a different tongue. What exactly is the Amber?
It is a pocket realm, a dimension of some kind, associated in some way with Nokmatera, but to what degree I don't know exactly. Full of many strange beings of many different sorts. To be perfectly frank, I'm not entirely sure what state it was in when I left. It was sort of falling apart.
I know of the stories of the realm of Nokmatera and such a place. Well, it is not one that I would say one could easily come and go from. Though perhaps, as you said, it is not exactly hers.
Well, it certainly was not easy to come or go.
And how exactly did you escape?
Val has a traumatic flashback.
Made a deal that we immediately welched on?
Yeah, well, I just replaced it with a different one. Well, I made a deal with Nokmatera to become her aspect after I died. A bond which was replaced by me becoming the Godborn of Yakuta. So I'm led to believe.
Well, then I think that is at least one god that we can count on that will be actively working against us. And if this Morden is an enemy of yours, I have no doubt then that he is roaming free upon Aegedon once more.
You make a good point.
You lot have certainly pissed off a good share of the people on this planet, no?
Not intentionally, though.
Mostly not intentionally. Half not intentionally.
I will believe it when I see it. Choreo just wipes her hands and stands and heads to the edge of camp, looking over her shoulder and says, I will be ready to move when you are.
Can you familiarize us with what kind of territory we're going in? Either human or elfkin?
Yeah, human, love. It is human.
Smashing. Thank you, love.
Is Choreo going far enough away from the group that, like, we could have a little whisper conversation without her hearing?
After Mick addressed her, she does move out of earshot, yes.
Okay. Looking now towards the rest of the group, Rolandir says while still gathering up the last of the things in camp, well, are we all good with this? Taking the straight course back into these refugee camps?
I think so. Anything that is going to come for us will come, whether or not we waste time getting there.
Val speaks the truth.
So we should endanger more lives? Luna just says, not really looking at anyone in particular, just staring at her feet.
That's the only thing that gives me any pause. The forces that are at work here, I don't think, would give a second's hesitation to wiping out anything or anyone that comes between them.
The same argument can be made of us not getting there in time, or someone taking the heart of the void from us. Everyone can be doomed.
Perhaps we stick to the edges.
Whatever we do, I suggest we be sure to blend in with the group. Take it from me.
I agree with Brynir. If it is a choice between losing some lives and losing all lives, the choice is simple. And as I said at the start, now is not the time to have a bleeding heart.
Alright. Then I say we stick with the original plan then. Continue going, and obviously if something crops up in the meantime, we can adjust, but until then we stay the course. And he cinches up the last strap on his bedroll and slings his pack over his shoulder. And gives a nod to the group, and he's going to go walk towards the edge where Choreo is.
Val will offer his hand to Luna to walk together.
Luna will first take your hand to hoist herself up and then interlock her fingers and walk with you.
Well, after we've been walking for just a bit, Brynir will try to pull aside Val, while kind of walking and talking kind of deal, but kind of out of earshot of others. Well, miss, there are a lot of people that know of your possession of the heart of the world. It may be wisest to secretly give it the one that you trust. Perhaps make a duplicate, so that it's not stolen from underneath us. But the decision is yours. You are more powerful than I ever could imagine someone could be.
That is a very good idea, Brynjar. Thank you. You have been very kind and steadfast throughout this entire journey, and I don't think that you should sell yourself short on power.
Thank you, Val. That is meaningful to me. Think on it, and proceed however you choose.
Val will nod.
Mick will, kind of take in the reality of this, that they're heading into danger, and will bring out her lute, and will say, let's put our minds at ease before we walk into this, shall we? And is going to start gently stroking it, and then we'll start with a nice little ditty, upbeat ditty for the group.
Almost immediately, Choreo from the front of the group beelines backwards and just grabs the neck of the lute with a twang as she mutes the strings and kind of whisper yells, "Are you goddamn insane?"
Some people think so. I'm sorry. My apologies. Let me put it away. I'm sorry.
Yes, immediately. Irresponsible. What was that about blending in? Do you suppose blending into the forest means suddenly breaking out into song and dance at a moment's notice?
Excuse me, we just left camp like 5 minutes ago. I think we're safe and fine, but if you insist... And Mick will strap the lute back to the back of her.
You would be well to think that no place is safe and fine anymore. And she turns on her heel and she just goes right back to the front of the group.
Vimak is shaking his head.
But at whom?
At Choreo, because he was really enjoying the song.
100% at Mick. After the whole, conversation they had, and Mick was like, I am not as careless as you think I am. Let me pull up my lute and sing about it. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
Not as careless as you think. Not as careless as you think.
Goblins, sing it with me. And some goblins come out of the trees. And suddenly, everybody's, singing and doing a little dance number. And the dance number ends with, everybody, tied up on sticks over fires, being roasted.
Perfect.
Mick will realize this and will realize that that was a foolish decision, as Vimak would put it, and kind of turns back to Vimak, makes eye contact with him, and will tap her nose twice, ooh, don't be hasty, kind of thing. Mum's the word kind of thing. And we'll continue on.
The morning proceeds without much further incident. Quiet conversations, hasty strolling. As you emerge from the woods and onto the road proper around the afternoon, you start to hear things. Distant things. Some of it sounds like thunder. Some of it sounds like crackling fires. And some even sounds like screams. But it all comes and goes, fading in turn. And as your internal clocks tell you, night falls, though the sky is obviously the same. You do see smoke on the horizon, as the base of the crown of Aegedon and the mountains that surround it are ever closer. Choreo, looking around, points off to a spot, a patch on the side of the road, and says, "This will be a good place at any, but if we are going to keep going in this direction, it is best that we should assume our disguises now, I would say, and keep them on until we are long past these refugee camps and such."
Do we want to use intents, or are we going to use physical disguises of some kind?
It is entirely up to you lot.
That will look to Mick, who, previously had a disguise kit. I don't know what the status of that currently is, but...
Oh, Mick still has it, yeah. Val, would you like a disguise? Perhaps your previous one that you took?
Whatever will work, frankly.
If we don't want to take from the reserve of intent either from our patron gods or from the Valors, then I suggest this is the best option. Up to you, though.
I would rather save the intent for an emergency if we do encounter Morden, or otherwise.
Say no more. And Mick will bring out a previous disguise that she has given to Val, and will bring out all the supplies for him.
Perfect. I will put on the disguise. I love that the disguise has just become nebulous disguise.
Yeah, I mean, I could describe it. I'm I don't know.
Well, no, I think it was just a cloak. Frankly, he could probably just get away with makeup to make his skin look human at this point, because his hair is not so abundantly glaring.
Yeah, there was a makeup kit that I think we used previously, so that definitely will be applied. and with assistance, if Val would let him.
Val has no idea what he's doing. Val will absolutely let Mick help. He also can't see himself,
That's
so...
true.
Val turns around in like clown makeup and is like, "Is it good?" And Mick's like, "Darling, no."
He's got fake lashes stuck to the bottom eyelid.
Any other takers?
Vamok looks over at Mick and just sighs. And then he lifts up his hand with a couple fingers and he motions for Mick to come over.
That's like almost as bad as like snapping at a waitress and being like, "Come over here. I need your assistance." Mick actually will take this in stride and will see that she kind of has the power over Vamok, or has something that Vamok needs, and he's actually asking for assistance. We'll kind of mosey on over to him and will reach into her satchel and retrieve a previous disguise that she's given to Vamok, and we'll start suiting him with that. And if he will allow her, we'll start to also apply the makeup on him.
As you apply your disguises to Val, like you said, you make his skin a more fellish, tailish complexion. The rest of him you can get away with. Just some fancy hair work on the ears, maybe a hat. But with Vamok, it does take some extra work to make him look less Mazkin and more Demlik in this sense. The scars you try to cover up as best you can, preserving some to look like battle scars, while a good fake beard will cover up those little tusks better than anything.
And Mick had previously suited Vamok with the fake beard, and it's coming out again. The Abraham Lincoln beard. I've got just the thing.
Since this isn't constrained by any time, I won't require some kind of performance roll or anything, so you're all good.
Sweet. Okay.
Thanks, Mick.
After getting the whole spa treatment from Mick over here, Vamok, who's not looking at him, he's like keeping his head down.
That will have to do. Thank you.
Very well. And you see Choreo just pull a hood over her head, and then she focuses for a second, and you can see through this quasi-translucent skin of hers as her face and hands just kind of flush with blood, and it makes her complexion a bit more pink than her usual incredibly pale white.
Noticing this, Rolandir's going to try to focus his blood-related powers into the one arm that he has that's kind of translucent, and see if he can make it appear more regular handish.
You get a hernia and die.
That's a minor stroke.
You feel a hand on your shoulder as you look up and see Choreo with a look of concern on her face. And she says, "You're going to pop a vein if you keep doing that."
How did you do that? Never mind. Perhaps I should just wear a glove.
And she'll put a hand on top of yours, and then you feel that same thing as like blood rushes through your arm, and the complexion just changes ever so slightly.
He takes a couple seconds, looks at it, and thank you. Perhaps you can teach me how to do that after all this is done.
Perhaps.
Shouldn't hold the group then, should we? On our way then.
On our way then. Come on, all. Choreo will continue helping everyone set up camp and whatnot for this period of rest. Does anyone wish to do anything in particular before you settle down for this second night?
Is there anybody around, or like, would I have reason to believe that we are being watched by any beings of any kind that can actually like physically see us?
Roll perception.
15.
You're free and clear.
Okay. I think Val, taking what Brynir said to heart, will take out the Heart of the Void and attempt to study it. He's not like holding it up to the light or anything. He will do so very discreetly, like in his hands, covering it as much as he can, just to try to get a bead on if it's even possible for him to create like a fake of any kind that would pass.
It seems to resist any sort of investigative tactic that would concern magic in any way, shape, or form. If you were to craft a duplicate, you'd have to do it by hand of the materials that it's made of, which seem to be an amalgamation of stone, gems, and brass or bronze. You can't tell.
Simple solution. Get a similar sized rock, put it in a pouch, call it a day.
True. Nobody else knows what it looks
This is the heart of the void. Well, I think the thing that Val is getting stuck on with this is that, like, it is immediately apparent, just given the nature of this object, that it is what it is. And I don't know that he knows how to recreate that. So I think that's kind of what he's working through. Maybe not necessarily in appearance, but maybe in crafting something that would initially give someone the impression that whatever it was powerful.
It's even difficult even just looking at it, because it's almost enamoring to view it for too long. Because every time you blink or look away and look back at it, it seems to have subtly changed shape.
Okay, he's gonna put the Heart of the Void away. I don't know where he keeps it, honestly.
No one does.
We should probably establish that.
The prison pocket!
Honestly, I hate to say it like that, or his stomach would probably be the safest place for it. But I don't
You
think that's...
swallow it and pass it
No,
every single time.
he absolutely does not. He does not have it in him to do that. There's no way.
Just get some juice.
No way.
Juice.
Val swallow and then vomit something back up? Under no
He
circumstances.
swallows it, and then 50 years later, he develops colon cancer because that.
You get to the top of the mountain and you're like, Val, quick, use the Heart of the Void. And you're like, I haven't had to go yet.
It's in my large intestine somewhere.
I'm just like, given how long Val has been studying this thing, is it reasonable to assume that if Verlander was like getting his stuff laid out and was continually peeking over at people, like he could be like, oh, Val's been looking at something for a while. Like he doesn't know what.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably about this time that Val's tucking it away, Verlander does walk over to Val and just kind of passing by says, what you looking at there, Val?
Just thinking about some things that Brynjar suggested, trying to decide if it's possible.
Well, Brynjar does tend to have pretty good ideas. Anything I can do to help?
I don't know, are you good at crafting things with your hands?
Crafting? No.
Killing.
Yes. I don't know exactly what you're intending to do, but perhaps I have a slight idea, and why does it have to be by hand?
I don't know. Whatever this thing is, the Heart of the Void, it has nothing to do with our current concepts of magic or making, and I want, if we're going to bother creating a fake, it should be convincing.
True. I don't think that it necessarily has to be convincing for a long amount of time, though. I imagine any situation we find ourselves in where we would need to forfeit it, it just needs to temporarily convince. Be a glimmer in someone's eye long enough for us to act in an unexpected way. I don't think that anything else really is feasible. I don't think we could dupe anyone into believing long-term they have the actual Heart of the Void.
No, certainly not.
But I do agree that a fake would be useful.
Intent is a crutch for me. This will be a difficult quest to solve without it.
Then, perhaps as you said, get as far as you can by hand, and just put the extra shimmer on top with as little intent as possible.
I wouldn't mind killing a Valor over it, so...
Yes, but I don't think that Vale would be necessarily too happy about that. And as little as we trust him, any help we can get now is needed.
Well, he knew the risks, and it is in his interest for us to succeed.
True. And Rolander just kind of gives Val a squeeze on the shoulder. I trust he'll do the right thing.
We can only hope.
And Rolander's gonna go and he's just gonna zonk out.
Looking to Luna, Val will ask her, do you know how to make things?
I'm sorry, what?
Like handicrafts or things like that? This is a very strange and silly question, but...
I want to make you a lanyard.
This is the Heart of the Void. I got it at summer camp.
I mean, my upbringing kind of necessitated a bit of craftiness, but I don't think to the extent that you're thinking of. No, I'm no jewel cutter or blacksmith, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I mean, we don't have a forge or jewels, so... honestly, I think even just whittling something would be sufficient for now.
whittling. You're gonna go say, "This is the most powerful artifact you've ever laid your eyes on." It's
Listen,
a carved
I
piece
have
of
an
wood.
idea. I'm trying not to use intent. I'm playing a stupid rich boy. What do you want from me?
Luna legitimately chuckles a little bit. And she says, I don't think that would pass, but I've got some skill with a knife, I guess, if you want something earnestly.
If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it.
No. It's not that I don't want to do it.
I just need something to start with.
I could try to... No, I can't. I can't either. You know, without intent, we're pretty useless.
That has crossed my mind, yes.
Well, actually, I'm pretty good with a blade, and I'm acrobatic, and I'm a great shot with a crossbow if you put one in my hands.
Yes, point made. I am useless. You are not.
No, that's not what I was saying at all, Val.
Sounded like it.
But she doesn't follow that up with anything. She just gives you a cheeky smile.
He laughs. He meant this in jest. He knows where his skills lie. It's fine.
I think it's a good idea, but perhaps when we reach one of these camps, it might actually be good to go inside and we can find something that would better suit our needs.
I've been thinking we should probably pick up some mountain climbing gear as well, if it exists.
Yes, I think we're a bit ill-suited for the journey, if I could say so myself. I'm most certainly underdressed if we're going into inclement weather. I'm sorry, I wish I could help more, but like I said, when we reach one of these camps, we can see what they have and we'll go from there. But until now, I think you might as well just keep it safe and hidden.
Yeah.
At this point, Brynjar's going to be coming back carrying some firewood. I see everybody's made themselves busy and started to make camp as nothing is out.
Choreo, who has likewise returned with some materials, game actually, a few mice and rabbits. She's incredibly adept, obviously, at hunting. Yes, I would say the same thing. Marvelous progress you have all made. Brynja, why don't you start a fire and we can get these cooking while the others continue laying out bedrolls and tents and such, yes?
You know, for a servant of Vale, maybe you're not so bad. And Brynjar will start making a fire.
No, one moment. What is that supposed to mean? You have something against Vale, yes? What of it?
Actually, I don't have most things against Vale, but he is the god of plots and murders. So,
Right, 2 strikes against him. I'll take that.
anyway, all I was trying to say is maybe you're not so bad. Everybody else has tried to do their own thing and, I don't know, kill us.
Well, I have not, have I?
No. And you're not so bad.
Choreo has lost what she's trying to get out of this conversation. And waits for Brynjar to make a fire.
Sass.
Immediately after these two were like coming up to call everybody out for not making camp, Vamak will get up and take out like a canvas tarp and just like kind of make a big show of like floofing it out and then drape it over a stick and make like a lean-to, and then he'll sit back down and do what he was doing, which was not much. Like he was just over here flicking his bick.
Very helpful, Vermont.
I think that Mick would have been taking care of her own stuff, like rolling out her own bedroll, stuff like that. I don't think much contributing to the whole of it, so point taken. And Mick will come towards Brynjar and will actually offer assistance. Brynjar, anything I can do here?
No, I believe I have it covered. I honestly was mostly joking.
I see. I thought it was kind of funny.
I was not. Choreo looks at you.
Ah, yes. Choreo, anything I could do?
Yes, skin these and lay them out.
Delightful. Just the kind of work that I prefer.
You may use my knife. And she hands you a bloody bone knife. And a rabbit.
Ah, just here? And Mick will hesitantly sit down and start to skin these rabbits.
Is Mick at all skilled in skinning animals?
You betcha that she is not. But Mick will give a stab at it.
Not saying anything as she keeps glancing up at you, but you could maybe notice that Choreo's cheeks are a little more red than pink at this point.
Vamak, seeing this, he'll give like the smallest head shake, and then he'll get up off of his butt, and he'll go over there, pull out his own hunting knife, and he's not going to take the one that you're working on, but he'll take one of the other rabbits and start skinning it. And he's just doing his thing. Very mundane for him. He doesn't say a word. He just sits down and starts skinning.
As the evening progresses and you are all able to sit down for a meal, you hear the creaking of wagon wheels upon the road. And it's a few minutes later where you see a small caravan of hand carts and covered wagons crest this little hill that you've camped out on and set up on the other side of the road.
Rough distance approximation. Are we talking like communicable distance that we could yell and hear them, or like we'd have to trek a little bit to get them?
You'd have to walk to the road and then you could yell and hear them.
Okay.
Do we get like a good look at them at all?
They seem to be humans, mostly Talic from the look of it, and it is a little while before they seem to make any note of you, but a couple of them huddle by one of the wagons, sparing glances your way before one of them, a dirtied, burly man, starts tromping toward the road and toward your camp, away from his.
Rolander, who had pretty much shot up from his bedroll, doing absolutely nothing to help set up camp, as soon as he heard the wagon wheels approaching, he just kind of was observing as they pulled off into their little camp area, but as this person approaches, he's going to stand.
The man continues over and stops a good 15 feet away from Rolandir, obviously not trying to look imposing or invasive in any way, shape, or form. And he's just got his hands on his hips. You can see he's wearing a tunic that's maybe a size too small for him. His trousers are held up by some frayed rope, and he's got a dirty cloak along his back, as well as a hatchet at his side. His face sports a large beard that's unkempt and a bit uneven in places. One of his eyes is a bit clouded over, and his scalp is marked by a large scar that runs from the middle of his eyebrows almost all the way to the back. And he just looks at you and he says, "Right, good evening it is.
Yes, I'd say so.
Fellow travelers, are you?"
Travelers, yes. Where do you find yourselves off to?
The camps and such, we hope. Have you heard tell, be they, well, true and such? Folks can never be subsisting on rumors for long.
We have also heard of these camps. We haven't seen them ourselves, but it is also where we are headed.
Lot of you seem a bit well for wear.
Yep.
Is this guy?
Sure are.
Is this guy gonna rob us?
You don't get the impression that he's trying to size you up. You get the impression that, that you could murder all of these people in a heartbeat if you wanted to.
We take care of ourselves. Yes, your group seems to have had a rough go of it.
Aye, we've fallen upon hard times, beset by hard men, bandits, what have you, profiteers.
Yes, they seem to be fairly rampant among these roads.
He's hoping that your lot ain't the same as perhaps those lots.
We intend to keep to ourselves.
Perhaps you might then be more interested in joining a band, if your destination is as true as you say. Some of us are, well, and you see this, if menacing is even the word for it, but menacing veneer kind of fade away and this tired old man replace it. Oh, we're tired. We're beaten and bloodied. Good lot of us, stricken with some pox we don't even know, haven't seen it. Here nor there. We've got children. A few, yes. Going hungry. If you have food or such to spare, I know there's a right few of you and a good many of us. We could use whatever help we can get.
Rolender looks back at the rest of the camp. His eyes kind of linger on Vamok for a little bit.
Vamok does not look like he's happy to see these people. Vamok is like glowering at them.
And funnily enough, your eyes scanning your companions fall upon Koryo, and though she doesn't look as, perhaps, agitated as Vamok, she gives a small shake of her head.
Rolender turns back to the man. Look, as I said, we intend to keep to ourselves. I understand hard times fall on everyone here. I can assist your party, gathering food, setting up whatever equipment you need. But for the night, and he just kind of looks over, that have they started setting up their own camp yet, or did they just assemble in a little
They're
huddle?
trying.
Okay.
They're trying. I couldn't pay you if that means anything anymore.
No. And looking back one more time and just kind of shooting off like a I don't really care glance back to Vamak and Choreo, Rolandir, he goes up to the man, and he's very attentive. He's watching what he's doing with his hands, but he's going to kind of put a bolstering arm around him and just say, walk me over to your camp. I'll help and do what I can.
Right. And you feel this pent-up tension in the man's shoulders sink away as this whole kind of tough guy act completely fades to pieces. And you see him just take big breaths as he's led back across the road, glances to his side at you and says, the name's Kretch. Hayden Kretch.
Hayden. And Rolandir sticks out his left hand, which is probably the wrong hand for if the other guy has already stuck one out, but he's just used to it now because that's the only hand he had for a while. And he just says, Rolandir, nice to meet you.
He'll shake your hand and say, right, pleasure, I'm hoping. As you head into this camp on the other side of the road, you see that his description of it was generous, to say the least. The people here and the wagons are in nothing short of shambles. You see people with open wounds, barely stitched or covered, walking around, trying to get tents set up, awnings out from the wagons and such, and lay out bedrolls and small fire pits and what have you. The more hardy ones are a bit more productive. There are a few men and women that are able to set up the majority of the camp, but the bulk of this group seems utterly helpless.
Getting now within the group proper, Rolandir takes a quick scan, sees all of this, and, just kind of taking a quick step back from Hayden, he says, you're going to need more help than this. Some of my group is more averse to any interactions with strangers than others, but there are some who will come with. Let me go back to my camp, fetch those who will help, and we'll come and get you a good camp set up for the night. And he's going to hastily head back to camp. And now arriving, he kind of addressing the group as they're all there, just says, look, I know we don't want to risk anything, but these people are not a threat, and they do need help. If we're going to stay here for the night anyways, I see no harm in giving them assistance. No one needs to, but I'm going to, and they could use more help than just me. And that's all he's going to say, and he's going to turn around and head back.
Luna will immediately stand and say, I'll come with, I'll help.
Val as well.
Mick will stand up and will say, I will go. And Mick will also take half of her portion of food and will kind of wrap it up to bring with her.
Somebody has to make sure that he doesn't get stabbed again. Mine as well.
Choreo and Vamak by the fire.
Vamak sighs and stands up. Just big.
If each of you are so set upon helping them, it would not make sense to have two separate camps. I just regret that I spent so much time setting up the tents.
And then he reaches over and he just yanks the canvas off of the branch. He'll grab the rabbit meat and stuff and he'll start heading over.
Choreo rolls her eyes as she stands, and she will say, it is unwise to mix and mingle with this rabble as we go along. We do not want to get too friendly. We do not want to be recognized.
Believe me, I do not see them as my friends.
As the lot of you head across the road, you hear something else in the distance. Sounds like another wagon, or two, or three even, hoof beats and such, and then drums. And at first, you may be struck with a sense of fear, as fight or flight sort of vigilance kicks in. But then, as they draw ever closer, the drums become jovial, and you hear strumming of string instruments and the lightest of singing. And then, cresting the hill coming toward you and the refugee caravan, is a second caravan of troubadours.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And Choreo just rolls her eyes again and says, God damn it all.
Is this the kind of danger you were envisioning?